What's up, everybody? John Eric Poli here with my MMA news, and today's guest just defeated Anthony Adams by unanimous decision at Bellator 289. Pleased today to once again be joined by Dalton Rosta. Dalton, nice to see you, man. Congrats on the win.
You too. Thank you.
So this fight was it was interesting. I know we were talking about this a little bit before we came on air here. Tough one to be a part of for a guy like yourself, who's very powerful, who wants to get in there and wants to scrap. Obviously, your opponent was coming out, only wanted to seem like throw one strike and then back up. Not a lot of combinations. Just your thoughts on the fight, kind of how it played out, and what it was like being in there with an opponent like that.
Yeah, he was playing very defensive. And anybody who's ever wrestled or did jiu-jitsu or boxing, if you're fighting against somebody that's just playing all defense and they're not being offensive, it's hard to chase somebody down. It's hard to land shots. It's hard to make the fight, you know, exciting as it can be. And for someone like me that wants to knock you out, and as you've seen at the end of the fight, I had the power to do it. It was just about catching him. But whenever he's running the entire time and playing defense, it's really hard to do. Even whenever I got on top of him, when I took him down and when he shot on me, I got on top of him. I'm wrist riding on the opposite side, have a leg in. I'm trying to start ground and pounding with this side, whether it be elbows, punches, whatever. And what's he do? He sits all of his weight on his back, so I can't get my back arm out. And then he just grabs my punching hand with both hands, two hands on one wrist. So now at this point, he's stalling on bottom because he didn't want to get finished. I mean, who wants to get finished? But it seemed like he was just fighting to survive. And it was hard to get my wrist out whenever has two hands on it. It's not like we're hand fighting. He has my wrist. I can't grab his wrist back, So at that point, it's not about strength. At first, I just thought maybe he had a strong grip, but then I realized he had two hands on my wrist. And fast forward a little bit, I ended up winning by decision. Almost got the knockout at the end. Almost got the finish, but unfortunately, I did not. But that's what I was going for all fight long. And he just kept running, kept playing defense, and sometimes it makes the fight not pretty.
And I'm glad that you brought up the whole thing about your power, because I was actually going to ask that. Do you think that this might be now a new trend when people are going to be fighting you, that they're going to be very afraid of that power of yours, kind of like how your last opponent was, where they're not going to want to get into these engagements, throw a lot of combinations at you because they're worried about a counter? Do you plan on this being something going forward of being a problem, or you think it was just maybe just the opponent, just the style, that he just didn't want to take that chance?
No, it's not his style. So Anthony Adams is a good fighter. All bullshit aside, he's a good fighter, good striker, athletic, has the talent. However, he came in and fought me differently than he fought everybody else. He was playing defense. He didn't want to get knocked out. He knew I had the power to do it. And like I said, when we said before, at the end of the fight, I almost finished him. I put him on his ass, rocked him, and almost got the finish. And that's what he was trying to avoid all fight long. And a couple more seconds, he wouldn't have been able to avoid it. Now, granted, we didn't have another couple seconds, but that's what I was trying to do all fight long. And that's what he was trying to avoid all fight long. And that's exactly why the fight went the way it did. I did the best I possibly can to put on an exciting performance. I was throwing Superman punches. I was coming forward, chasing him down all fight long. I didn't wrestle much. I shot once. Then I forced him to shoot on me. I hurt him with the double jab right hand, with maybe a minute and a half left in the round. And then he started running from me, and I'm starting to track him down, and I don't want to start unloading punches, and just start missing. So I'm trying to wait for him to settle down a little bit, then start setting down on my punches and hit him with a few shots. And before I know it, he's shooting on me, turn him into a wrestler. Sprawl got on top, started landing some shots, and then he starts controlling my wrist with both hands again. So at that point, I'm trying to get it out, and I even look at the ref, and the ref's like, because I was about to ask the ref, can we stand it up? But when I looked at him and he gave me that thing, I was like, okay, he's not going to stand us up, so I got to try something else. So you could see at the end of the fight, because this arm's behind him and it's on his wrist, and he's sitting back with all his weight and then trapping this arm with both wrists, I can't really get out. So I stood up. Instead, I took my leg out, and I stood up, and I started using my knee to pry on the back of his arm and pull my wrist out. And at this point, I start landing some lefts on him, not too hard. I'm just trying to touch him to get a reaction. And then I laid the right hand on him. As soon as he started backing out, he looked like he was trying to counter me at the same time too. When I watch it back, hit him with the right hand, dropped him, almost got the finish, but unfortunately I didn't. And my coaches were a little upset that I let him up after that. But I told my coaches, I'm like, listen, at the end of the day, I love fighting. I love winning, but I'm willing to take the risk because that's not how I want to win a fight. And I didn't want to start getting booed. And I didn't want people just to think I'm hanging on to this guy. I wasn't just hanging on to him. I was trying to land punches, but he had my wrist controlled and he's putting his weight back on my other hand, so I couldn't get it out. And they're like, yeah, but man, you had the win. Look at like this fight and this fight. They're like, it could have went bad. And I'm like, yeah, I understand that. And if it's like I feel that threat there, and maybe at a different circumstance, maybe I do that. But there, I just felt supreme confidence. I was 100% confident, didn't feel any risk at all. And I wanted to go for it. I wanted to go for the finish.
And now with all that being said too, right, I know, like we said, a little bit of a frustration fight. He really wouldn't let you get your power off, fought very defensively. But at the end of the day, it's another win. You're still undefeated. You beat another ranked opponent. How good does it feel to be sitting here today with another win in the win column?
Feels good. Honestly, it feels great to be 8-0. It feels good to get another win and still be undefeated. But I still haven't lost a round to this day, But I wanted that finish so bad. And it wasn't just because I hurt him at the end of the fight. It's because that was my intentions the entire fight. I wasn't going in there to try and point fight. But, he's playing defensively, and I'm trying to fight smart at the same time, not going in there just throw haymakers. And the opportunity didn't arise until later in the fight. Now, granted, if you go back and watch the fights and you look at the short burst where I'm hitting with an overhand right and exploding into a left hook and then exploding into a left jab, there was moments in the fight where you could see exactly why he's fighting defensively. It's like, okay, after that little 5-second, 3-second burst, if I was him too, I'd probably be backing up as well, because there was a clear explosion difference, clear power difference. And I think I was faster too. I don't just think I was faster. I know I was faster. And it's slightly noticeable on film, but whenever you're in there and you guys are throwing punches at the same time and yours landed first, even if it's by split seconds, because this is a game of millimeters and fractions of a second. But you notice those things, you pick up on them. I knew I was a lot faster than he was too, and I think he noticed it too, and that's why he just chose to use his footwork to get out of the way of everything.
All right, so let's talk about your coaches now a little bit. I know you had mentioned before that they were kind of pointing out some areas where they kind of thought you might be able to get a finish in and things like that. Obviously, you're with a great group of guys down there at American Top Team. Have they talked to you about this performance at all, or did you guys not get a chance to go back and watch it? Just wanted to get, what their thoughts were on the performance, because I know it's something for as talented as, and this goes for everybody at American Top Team, no matter how talented you are, no matter where you at, if you're a champion or not, they're always trying to improve and get you guys better and to always, get new wrinkles into your games and everything.
They were super happy about it, I went and talked to him about it. I was like, man, I wanted to finish so bad. But like, bro, that was a beautiful performance. You performed beautifully. You look very comfortable on your feet. You look phenomenal. You saw everything coming, your head movement, your vision was there. You were doing everything we game planned. You mixed in the wrestling. They're like, everything was great. Now there's still things I could work on, things I messed up on in the fight. Like whenever I pulled him away from the cage because he was using the cage and controlling my wrists again. Like I said, I pulled him away from the cage and I put him on top of me where I took his back. That wasn't my intention. I intended to pull him on top of me, but I was going to use that as a way to get the full mount. And as you can see, if you go back during the fight, I started getting my hips up to get over top of him to try and get mount so I can start attacking the submissions from there, whether it be, arm triangle or Kimura or straight arm bar or anything like that. And that's what I wanted to do. That's where I'm better at. I'm better up from the top and half guard and side control and mount than I am from the back. And whenever I went to do that, kind of got reversed. If you want to call it a reversal, it was more of a scramble. And we ended up back on our feet.
All right, so now let's talk about this new year now here for you, 2023. You have a lot of momentum on your side right now. So what's the outlook here for 2023? Just how many times do you want to get in there and fight? And in a perfect scenario, how do you see yourself ending next year? Because I'm sure you're probably going to want to fight. I'm going to go ahead and guess that you want to be in there definitely twice, if not 3 times.
Yeah, 3 times, I think. 3, if I can get in there 4, if they want to let me in there 4, sure. But I would like I got some healing to do. My ankles and my foot is a little messed up from kicking a lot. I shouldn't say a lot, but from kicking. I want those injuries to heal up, and then I had some injuries that I'm not going to disclose during the last camp, just in case they take a little bit longer to heal than I'm projecting. I went into this fight a little injured, but I want those to heal as well. And however long that takes, whether it be 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, whatever, I'm going to get in the training as I can and work around the injuries. But anything that causes pain to the injury or may delay healing, I'm not going to do.
And then I know the last time we spoke, you had mentioned a big dream of yours is to main event a show in Pittsburgh. I know you even threw out maybe a possibility of a name with Yoel Romero. Lots going on with that, though. There's no actual malice behind if he's even coming back down to,
he's
your
not.
division or not. He's not coming down. Okay, so there you go. That's actually confirmed there then. So I guess with that being said, is the goal still, even if it's not in Pittsburgh, is the goal this year to main event a show in Bellator?
I would love to, but I would love it to be in Pittsburgh. If they're going to have me on a main event, bring it to my hometown, I can sell it out. Even if it's not in Pittsburgh, I only live 35 minutes from Youngstown too. And there's the Cavelli Center over there where Kelly Pavlik fought. And I could sell that. That sits 8,000 people, pretty big arena. He sold it out before. I could sell that out. I did a lot of boxing in Youngstown, got a lot of fans over there. I went to school at Youngstown State. It's near Newcastle. It's near Pittsburgh. It's near Cleveland. I could sell that out, no problem as well. So, one of those two.
And that would be nice, too, if they're able to do that here in the new year. And I hope they do for your sake, too. You definitely deserve it. You're an exciting fighter. It'd be awesome to see that there. The other thing, too, as far as future matchups goes, I know you were asked about this after the fight. I'm sure it gets annoying after a while. But obviously, your teammate is the champ there. I know you've said time and time again, and you reiterated this over the weekend, that if it comes to where you guys got to cross that road, you'll wait until it gets to that opportunity. But being in the spot that you're in the division, like you said, you want to fight definitely 3 times, if not 4. You go in there, you got to definitely win. And if you get a second win on top of it, you're kind of there. Essentially, I don't know where else you're going to go after that. Do you think, realistically, looking at next year, that you will be fighting for the title at the end of the year?
I think so. Now, I don't know what Johnny's plans are. I can't speak for that. If he's still holding the belt at the time, which if he chooses to, I think he will be. And then when I say chooses to, like if he doesn't have any ultimate plans of retiring, maybe changing weight class, changing promotion, I don't know what his deal is. But if he continues to defend that belt, I think end of the year, he's still going to be champion. I don't see anybody beating him. So I think there will be a clash between us. Now, that being said, that's still a year away. You know what I mean? And we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. We're still going to train with each other. We don't know what the future holds, and we don't know the circumstances around it. So, like I said, there's still that potential for that fight to happen. There's still a possibility. So that's why I say we're going to cross that bridge whenever we get to it.
All right, now let's move outside the cage here a little bit. I want to ask you about, did you get a new dog? Did I see you got a new French Bulldog? Is that right? Did I see that?
Yes, he's in the crate right now, so he doesn't pee all over the place while I'm doing this interview. But, yeah, I got a new French Bulldog, black and tan, named him Pegasus.
All right, so what's it been like having a new dog around there? And how do the two dogs, you already have a French Bulldog, how do the two dogs get along together?
Oh, they get along great. I got him for her, so she'd have a friend. That was the whole reason of getting her. And because I wanted like a Rottweiler or a Cane Corso. And, yeah, they could still play as puppies, and even like whenever the Cane Corso or Rottweiler got bigger, they still could have played, but it would have been a different type of play. They wouldn't be able to play rough. It wouldn't have been the same. So I was like, let me get another small dog for her, because I started getting selfish with it. I was like, I want a Cane Corso or a Rottweiler, but that's not the reason why I was doing it. I wasn't doing it for me. I was doing it for her, and decided on getting another Frenchie.
All right, man. Good stuff there. Now, I do want to actually ask you a little bit about football here. So, obviously, we're both in the state of Pennsylvania. You are a big Steelers fan, so I don't know how much of this gets out to the western part of the state, but obviously here in the eastern part of the state, people are so fired up about the Eagles, which I understand, rightfully so, but my God, I can't stand the Eagle fans at all. Do you have any of that problem out in Pittsburgh? Are the Eagles fans starting to get a little loud and obnoxious out there? Or is there really not too much of that out there?
No, out here it's more Patriots fans and Cowboys fans, believe it or
Okay.
not.
Wow.
Those are the annoying fan bases here. I mean, you have some Brown fans too, but they know they suck all the time, so they don't usually get like annoying about it, you know? Um, I don't know why so many people around here like the Cowboys or the Patriots, you know? Half of them have, more than half, 95% of them never been to either state, let alone their stadium. And they like these teams. It's like, why?
Yeah, I know. That is that. I was a little confused. I get like the whole Dallas thing at least a little bit because they say it's like America's team. The Patriots
That was
won.
offered to Pittsburgh first, though. Pittsburgh turned it down.
No kidding. I didn't know that.
Yeah, look it up. That was offered to Pittsburgh first. Pittsburgh turned it down, and Dallas Cowboys were the second option. So if they want to claim that title, it's a hand me down.
That okay? That's news. I did not even know that, but that is something there. The other one though, the Patriots. That one I don't like. How it does? I don't even. I don't even get it. It doesn't make any sense.
I think it was the Tom Brady aspect of it, the Tom Brady dimension. But now that he's not there, you know, they like the team their whole life. Now they still like him. I don't know, but some of the Tom Brady fans hopped ship. Now they're liking Tampa Bay.
Okay. So I'm going to guess then this year, I don't know if you got to go to or not, but obviously Tampa played in Pittsburgh. I'm going to go ahead and guess there was probably a fair share of Brady fans there and out in Steel City there.
Yeah, yeah, and they went to. I've seen a lot of people posting on their Instagram story that they went to the Browns game when the Browns played Tampa Bay in Cleveland. So yeah, you get that a lot around here.
Yeah, and I guess they all went home sad about those games too, because Steelers beat them, and so did the Browns as well. So I guess all those fans going sad back to their houses there. One other thing I wanted to ask you too before we wrap up today: holidays right around the corner. I'm going to go ahead and guess that you can't wait to pig out on all the food and everything. Just how excited are you for the holiday season, and what are the plans? I know obviously you're off from training, so what are the plans?
I'm super excited. You know, I've already been picking out. Today I've been eating pretty clean. I've been trying to keep at least one meal a day clean and not try to overeat and everything, but I've been picking out pretty much. And the plans are, you know, there's some family dinners and stuff we're going to go to of Gina's family and celebrate at a few places. Besides that, me and Gina are going to go skiing at Seven Springs. Never been skiing before. It's going to be our first time. I kind of want to go to New York City for New Year's to watch the ball drop, but she has to leave the next day. So if we do that, that's going to be probably like an all-nighter type of deal, or drive back the same night. I mean, I don't know how we'd work that out, but if we don't do that, I still want to visit like New York during the winter time and see the snow there and just experience all that. I've never been in like New York City. I've been in New York City for the AEW stuff, but it was just from the airport straight to the arena. I didn't get to experience like Times Square or anything like that. And besides that, you know, maybe some ice skating and yeah, just a lot of food.
Awesome, man. A lot of good stuff. Enjoy the holidays there. Last thing before you roll out, social media so people know where to follow you at, any management sponsorships, all that good stuff. If you have to plug anything like that, take it away.
Yeah, I want to give big thank you to my manager, Sucker Punch, Brian Butler. Big thank you to my sponsor, Scooter King. He actually had the Rivers Casino in Pittsburgh put on the fights, the Showtime fights in the sportsbook section. And they never show the Bellator fights there because they always have like, you know, the basketball games on or football games, or they have the UFC fights when the pay-per-views because they buy the pay-per-views, but they actually put my fight on for Showtime and had it up on the big screens, had the audio on, everything. It was pretty cool. They were telling me all about it. So big thank you to him. Big thank you to Arias Agencies, Armina Stone, RJ Steel Construction, LW Auto, David Allen Clothing. He does my suits. I mean, I was looking great for fight week, in my opinion. I got a lot of compliments as well. On top of that, Glaxon supply me with all my supplements, keep me ready for fight week, help me make weight. And then Elite Living and Health, my functional medicine sponsor. They do all my peptides like NAD+, anti-aging, glutathione, antioxidant, helps with immunity, performance, etc. And then I have aminos that I inject pre-workout as well. So get blood work done with them, figure out what's wrong, and they can help you improve your health, your general wellness, everything.
All right, Dalton, always great catching up with you, man. Congratulations again on the win. Looking forward to see what you do in the new year. It's going to be a very exciting 2023 for you. Last thing before I roll out, just want to thank all of the viewers that watched today's interview. Please do me a favor, if you guys like today's interview, make sure to go to the bottom, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to this YouTube channel if you haven't done so already. And you guys know the drill with MyMMANews.com. Make sure you guys are keeping your tabs on the website. A lot of great stuff comes out there. Go to Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Give us a like and a follow on there as well. We'll see you later, everybody.